Get on mic for a second, Tim Sabian, before you leave. You forgot how to broadcast.
But here's the thing. When I was, of age, I went and enlisted in the draft, or, I registered for the draft, and then it was the Vietnam War, and they got rid of it. So I never had to go in, but all my friends did, and it was such a trauma to see these guys come back. And
that was a war, man.
But I was able to wow, I averted that whole situation, and I'm so grateful when I see over the weekend they were running Vietnam in 3D.
Yeah, it's incredible,
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the stories that they would tell me. I'm like, holy shit! I can't handle a hot day like today, let alone Vietnam.
That was like a sauna too over there. That's the jungle. I mean, just being in the jungle sucks because everything's trying to kill you. Imagine fighting a war in a jungle like that.
Yeah. Screw the people trying to kill you. The mosquitoes, the bugs.
There's frogs. You touch them, you die.
Oh, really?
Poison skin, and then the goddamn bullet ants, and then the fire ants, and then the snakes,
right?
And the gators.
How do you protect against all that stuff when you're in the woods?
I don't know. I mean,
you just deal with
little
it?
things that you do, like how you deal with your feet, and then with your hammocks, how to put DEET on the. You never want to sleep on the ground. You'll wake up dead.
Right.
But just the hammock, the strings that are connected to the whatever, and you have the DEET. And that won't stop all of them. And
in the water, you drag your feet, and on land, you pick up your feet, right?
I guess.
How do you know this? You were playing tennis while our boys were fighting the Vietnam War.
I was sweating bullets. I was in college.
You're over here fucking
I was trying to find all their ex-wives.
Tim Bone Spurs Sabian. He's telling us how to walk through a jungle.
I would have did whatever I had to do, but it was unbelievable, the stories that came out of it. And I'm just, guys like yourself, I'm very, very grateful and appreciative of what you've done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Back to the bugs, though, for real, and the frogs. Do you just get eaten alive when you're out there?
Yeah, I do. I don't know, for some of the guys that look like us.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
I got crushed by mosquitoes this weekend at Cape Cod.
Yeah.
It just sucks. You want to treat your clothes, blouse your boots, because, even around here for ticks and stuff like that. And there's little tricks, but the jungle's no fun. No one has fun.
Yeah, we look very similar, so
yeah.
I assume you get bit just like I did.
Horrible. I was with my wife, and she didn't get touched one time.
Oh, that's how my wife
tastes like a damn peach.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, I walk outside just to get my shoes, and I come in with 10 mosquito bites.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't even outside.
And what about the frogs? They touch you, you die?
Yeah, there's certain colored frogs that their skin is poisonous and predators know it by the color.
Right.
I don't think you'll die, but you get really sick, or you could die. But
that's got to be even scarier than
everything in the jungle. There's nothing cool there.
Yeah. Right on. Well, we got Robert O'Neill for the podcast. I'm very psyched. I talked to you about a year ago.
Yes.
A couple months before I got fired.
That's true.
Yeah, and we hit it off back then.
That was a funny joke too.
What was the joke? Because I don't even know why I got fired. I think it was the one
dropping hammers, wasn't it? Someone shitting in the dumpster.
The guy that killed Osama bin Laden knows I got fired. Well,
but I wanted to come back on your show.
Well, let me ask you something. Because you guys are like, Navy SEALs. You're tight. You're a group. I'm going to compare my little group to your little group. Don't you? Not your little.
No, it's all
group.
good.
I apologize for that.
It's okay.
But don't you guys pull pranks on each other and fool around with each other, knowing
the pranks
that
are brutal? I wrote about one. So the famous thing to do is put flash crash grenades under their bags. So when your buddy picks up something, the grenade goes off, and everyone acts like, well, what'd you do? Because we all know what happened.
Yeah.
Someone pranked you.
Yeah.
But and then another one was I got hit with all these at once. Thank you. Someone I just got delivered a beer, so I said thank you. Someone put this ridiculous industrial strength icy hot in a pair of my gym shorts. And they have the bottom, the inside like a swim trunk. So that's where they put it. So it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit you where
it's gonna hit ground zero.
But the thing is, it doesn't heat up till it gets wet. So I put these shorts on, and I had to walk across our big parking lot to the gym, which is a solid 400 yards or whatever. And I get in there, I'm warming up on the elliptical, and it starts to heat up, and then it just feels like someone is lighting a fire underneath me.
Right.
So I'm listening to whatever music, and it's so bad, I got to take them off.
Yeah.
And I'm running back to the shower. So I'm still have my headphones on, I'm listening to like Avenged Sevenfold, totally Porky Pigging it across the thing. So I got a shirt, no pants, just everything hanging out as I'm running. It's loud music. It's burning so bad. I run to my locker to grab my towel. I yanked a bag off, and all of a sudden I see the dust flying. I hear the boom through my headphones. Someone hit me with like a trifecta.
No.
Yeah, so that was a really good prank. And then you can't prank back because they're going to hit you harder.
Right.
Well, you can't get caught pranking back.
There's a couple good things in there. First of all, that the Navy SEALs are doing the same pranks I did in fraternity at Geneseo. And when all this happened to you, did you run to HR and get that guy in trouble?
You believe that stuff? No, it was awesome. We had a dude put a goat in another guy's locker for the weekend.
Yeah.
He ate everything in there. Now you have a mad goat in your life. Like, and you still don't go to HR about that. There's some horrible stuff guys were doing with.
Well, my point is, when you're with a group of guys and you're all buddies, or you're all tight, you assume you could do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what got me screwed in the end, because I did a prank in the bathroom, and the guy ran to HR, a guy that I.
The guy you pranked?
My point is, a guy I hired. Took under my wing, made sure he had a great life and a great career, and brought him into my group where we were always pranking each other all the time with these type of things. And then he turns around and runs to HR.
That's just weak right there. That's victim shit.
Yeah, because if I thought that he wasn't one of my guys, I would have never done something like that. That's my point here today, Robert O'Neill.
Yes. No, but yes, we did prank each other, and you shouldn't go to HR over anything like that. That's just weak stuff. That's like, no, I'm not even going to get into the hashtag stuff.
Yeah, the other thing, when you're in the woods and you're on a mission, I got to ask, how do you guys eat? And does it worry you that you're going to go too long without eating?
No, we were good about that. We were always we'd break down the MREs, the meals ready to eat, and those are actually they're cool because they're just stocked with calories.
Yeah,
and they're not bad. They've gotten I can eat anything. I like eating anything, and the only problem is they have like these. Stuff inside that'll constipate you. So when you do, it's like shitting a volleyball basically after the fourth day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But there's little tricks with I like the ramen noodles. Speaking of jungle, in the jungle, put ramen noodles in a little bit of water and it's seasoning in a Ziploc bag and just put it in your pocket and let it heat up that way.
Oh, that's a great little tip. I want to talk about when you run out of that stuff and you're desperate. Now you're on the land.
Well, hopefully,
how do you survive?
Hopefully, it wouldn't be.
But you must have a story or two where that happened. No.
No. And what my plan was, I would. I had an H&K 416, which is the rifle I carried. I would call that my 416 credit card.
Right.
Because the way I look at it is I have a gun, you have a car, I have a gun and a car.
Yeah.
Because give it to me, you can charge anything on it. So, no, that was never an issue. We did have guys get in some trouble. Marcus Luttrell, lone survivor, he got separated. All three of his guys were killed, and then he's off, in Afghanistan. Horror stories like that. But for me personally, even with training, never
you got by. Yeah. But then again, you want to throw out your rations and eat locally, don't you?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I never got into the bug thing. I don't like eating the bugs.
No, not the bugs. Just
we eat with the locals.
You come across a farm or you're smelling something nice coming from a hut.
You'd be surprised how good goat is.
No, man. Yeah. That's the number one meat in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Number one meat in the world is goat.
Some parts of the world, it's the number one meat for a couple of reasons.
Really?
Oh, yeah, people don't believe that. I actually asked one of my interpreters, because you hear stuff. Like, I'll tell people stories of Afghanistan, and they think I'm lying.
Yeah.
They think I'm making shit up.
Yeah.
I asked one of my interpreters, I was like, you don't fuck all your goats, do you? And he goes, no, not the males. That would be disgusting. And just deadpan.
Is it part of the culture? Is it part of
it
becoming a man? That's what I've heard over the years.
There are parts of that culture in certain parts, not all of it, where they can't. They not only can they not get women, they never see women.
Yeah.
Because they're behind burqas or they're locked in the houses. That's how the Taliban used to rule a lot of these places, and that's part of the reason a lot of those guys are batshit crazy.
Yeah.
It's not normal to just not see
pussy
and get raped by your uncles.
Pussy will solve a lot of problems.
It does. It does. It'll cause a lot of problems.
It will cause a lot of problems, and it'll solve those problems. But that's what they do. Sometimes I heard some of the teenage boys, they become men by practicing on a goat first.
Well, you think people are suicide bombers because this planet's so good?
Yeah.
No, they're looking to get to heaven.
Right. I gotta talk about a tweet you put out.
Boy.
Because on this podcast we talk a lot of food, we talk about beer, and we were talking about IPAs the other day. Actually, I'm not a fan of IPAs. You like IPAs?
I do. Yeah.
They're so bitter to me.
I like them.
But you love them.
Yes.
All right, so that's point one. But what I saw you tweet out is you like fruity drinks.
I put something about fruity drinks.
Please say that was real.
Do I? Well, yeah, I like drinks.
No, do you like fruity drinks?
Come on, Robert O'Neill. Depends on where I am. On the beach, yes.
Come on.
I do. I like pina coladas, and I like 20 pina coladas.
The fruitier, the better, right?
Good drinks. Make them strong.
Because I do this podcast with Carl Ruiz. He's a big star on the Food Network. Guy Fieri's friend, my friend.
Yeah, huh?
And he makes fun of me because I like fruity drinks. And then I saw you tweet that I think you were in Cape Cod and you were enjoying fruity drinks. I'm like, there you go. The guy that killed Osama bin Laden also
Drinking
likes fruity drinks.
Yeah, that's true.
It was my birthday recently. What, Michael?
He went shooting with him.
You went shooting with?
Yeah, where were we shooting?
Right before your podcast last time, me and Carl were just talking, and he was like, he went through my guest list. He's like, oh, you had good guests. Oh, you had O'Neill on? I was just shooting with him upstate at some undisclosed station.
That's right.
He was showing the guns you guys. You and Carl hung out, and he was shooting like crazy for you guys.
Really?
Funny, small world.
That is very, very cool.
And then we had fruity drinks.
Carl's very anti-fruity drink, so.
Well, that's why I bring it up, because he makes fun of me all the time. It was my birthday recently, and the waiter brings the drinks to the table, and they make this mistake every time. They put my drink in front of my wife.
Thinking she ordered it.
Yeah, and then her drinks look like what you're drinking today there. You know, like a man's drink.
Yeah.
Do you ever get sick of telling the story?
My wife hates it.
Your wife hates it.
She's so over it.
Really?
She's tired of hearing about it.
How you can't... You can't.
She's over it.
No, she's got to give you a pass. This is the stuff. If you kill Osama bin Laden, you got to get a pass.
But everybody asks the same questions. She hears. She's with me all the time. She's tired of it.
I hear you. What's the number one question they ask?
Well, that's a good one. The first one they ask. The first thing they say is, "Hey, real quick, can I get a pic?" And then they say one more, and I say, "There's no such thing as one more," because they start a line.
Right.
But then they'll ask how tall bin Laden is, and then I'll say he's that tall. Point up because I shot up at 6'4".
Oh, he wasn't
6'4", skinnier than I thought he'd be, but he was tall.
Well, I mean, he wasn't eating. He was in bad health, I would assume. By the time
he got, you know what's funny is he got a. We were listening to Al Qaeda talk to each other after the raid, trying to get more intelligence.
Right.
And they were joking with each other. One of the terrorists said, "Well, he goes, well, who turned him in?" And the other guy goes, "He turned himself in." He goes, "Why did he do that?" And he goes, "He was living in one house with 3 wives for 5 years." And I'm like, you guys are joking about it, silly terrorists.
I guarantee one of those wives, she finally had it and ran.
The 2 wives were pissed because they lived downstairs, and then Amal lived upstairs. She was a young wife,
right?
So
I thought they just accepted that if you have multiple
they get
wives,
pissed at each other.
They get pissed at each other. You want to go through the story one more time?
That's fine if you guys want to. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking because I did it a year ago, and it was just amazing radio, and I want to document it for the new podcast.
That's fine.
But the helicopter went down. That just really screwed everything up. But let's.
That was even something that because we came up with the perfect plan to kill bin Laden. We had weeks to look at the thing, and we knew the assets and how would we do this. What's the smartest, most effective way? And then, we trained on it 15 hours a day.
Yeah,
12 to 15 hours a day, and then we talk about it. One night we're standing around the table, and the boss I had the boss that was running it. I've never seen a man go on such brain power with such little sleep. But he said, what's the worst thing that could happen? And instantly the youngest guy in the room said, the helicopter could crash in the front yard. And we're all like, what the fuck, dude? Why would you even say that?
Yeah.
So he's like, well, let's talk about that for 30 seconds. And so we knew that was the worst case scenario.
And it happened.
And it happened. The worst thing happened, yeah. I just proved that you don't go into a situation knowing it's going to go a certain way.
Right.
Just be ready for anything.
But let's back up. So before you go on the mission, a couple things I found fascinating when I talked to you last time was the fact that you were convinced you weren't going to survive it. Which I
had the last meal
right.
with my kids that they didn't know was the last meal. One of my daughters was so young that I actually took her to Chick-fil-A.
Right.
And she met a girl her age, and they went playing in the ball pit, and that little girl was with her grandmother. And I sat there talking to her grandmother thinking, this woman has no idea who she's talking to. I'm going to die trying to kill bin Laden tonight.
How do you wrap your head around that, being a father?
9/11, the conversation that we had, because we talked about this, like, if we know we're going to die, why are we going?
Right.
And what we came up with, the best way to put it in perspective is we're not going for fame. We're going for the single mom who dropped her kids off at elementary school on a beautiful Tuesday morning, and 45 minutes later she jumped to her death out of a skyscraper because that, believe it or not, was a better alternative than what's going on inside at 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. And the last thing she did, her last gesture of human decency, was to hold her skirt down so no one could see her underwear as she committed suicide. And she was not supposed to. She didn't want to do any of that, and she's not supposed to fight. We're here to fight, and that's why we're going.
Robert,
we talked about this.
I get all that, obviously, but now as a father, now you're going to leave your kids without a father.
Yeah.
So how do you wrap your head around it? I asked the question again.
I wrote a letter to all of them and just explained. I like the one daughter that's always in the story was 7 when we went after bin Laden. She was 1 when we rescued the lone survivor. She was 4 when we rescued Captain Richard Phillips. Now she's 7.
Yeah.
But I didn't write a letter to the 7-year-old girl. I wrote a letter to the 27-year-old woman explaining how I'm sorry I missed her wedding. Jeez. And I know she was beautiful, and thanks for taking care of your sisters. And what we did was noble, and here's why. And I mean, the letter. One of my regrets in life is as soon as I got back, I shredded the letter because these letters we wrote, you can't even give it to your best friend because he's going to die too.
Right.
You got to find someone you trust that doesn't know what you're doing with instructions on what to do. And if you see me tomorrow, give them back to me.
Yeah.
But if you don't do this,
Why did you shred the letter?
I don't know. I just didn't want to read them again. I didn't want to relive that. And I wish I would have kept them now.
Well, no, I understand in a way because that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And you want to almost like get rid of that.
In the moment, because at the moment, the day we got back is the best day of our lives, and we are going to be best friends forever. There's going to be no controversy.
Right.
We're all friends, and everything just goes to shit.
Right. But you could have pulled that letter out when your kids are misbehaving. And go, look.
Hit them with it. Now read this.
Are you serious?
Read this, and here's some tissues.
You understand the sacrifice I was going to do for our country?
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very emotional time. And I even bought going away presents that they got. They don't know why they got them.
Well, were they?
And I don't even remember. But I bought myself Prada sunglasses because I saw them and,
nice.
and I thought that I couldn't. I can't afford them.
Yeah.
They're $240, but I'm going to be dead next week. I've got an American Express card. My ex-wife can handle this shit. And I actually brought them with me on the mission. I carried them in my pocket.
Wow.
Because what if we do live through the night and have to steal a car and drive 4 hours to Islamabad where we have embassies? If it comes to that, the sun's going to be up, and I'm going to need sunglasses, and I'm wearing Prada.
I guarantee. I guarantee the ride back, you put those sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You did.
Oh yeah. And they're in a safe place.
And
now.
what was the probability that you guys were not going to make it?
I thought 100% we were going to kill him, but I thought about 95% we're going to die with him.
95%.
That the house is going to blow up. When we went up the last set of stairs, I had one guy in front of me, and he jumped on people he thought were suicide bombers.
Yeah.
And I turned to the right, and there's bin Laden. And when I went up the stairs, I didn't. It's not like, hey, brave Navy SEAL movie shit. It was, I'm tired of thinking about it.
Right.
Let's get it over with. Let's get this explosion over.
Yeah, you write the letters, and now it's go time.
Yeah.
And
Well, it was neat because we went over to we pre-staged. We went to Afghanistan, Jalalabad Airfield, where there was already a SEAL team from our same SEAL team. And they were the ultimate professionals. Could you imagine being over there deployed and they bring another team in to do the job that you should be doing? That happened.
Really?
And those fuckers ended up rescuing us.
Really?
Yeah, they were just cool. And they weren't on the stealth helicopters. They were on the other ones. So
Wow.
like they're going to get shot down.
Right.
But we got there, and we're a couple days early. We hadn't been given the green light yet. There was still a few options, but we wanted to be as close to Pakistan as we could in case they said go now.
How many hours was that by helicopter at this point?
From Jalalabad to his house was 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
So, but yeah,
That's
so
a
we
long
were there,
90
and
minutes.
it's interesting because we all accept that something bad could happen, catastrophic, like Desert One shit when they lost so many guys trying to rescue the Iranian hostages. So it was interesting because we'd play poker, we'd work out. I remember watching the draft, the NFL draft, and I'm a Redskins fan. I'm thinking, I wonder if they're going to take a right tackle or the left. Are they going to do a line? And then I remember thinking, well, what does it matter now? I'm going to be dead in a couple days. So
You're sitting there just okay with the fact that you're most likely going to die.
not okay with it. It was almost like, what if they do a missile strike? I mean, I want to go on the mission, but maybe I'll live.
Right.
And you're kind of torn between that, but then you're like, no, I got to go because and what if we don't go? I mean, imagine being 70 years old thinking back, Jesus, we had a chance to get bin Laden. Because if we hit him with a missile, they're never going to admit he's dead.
Yeah, that would
He's like a
that'd be a
walking
new
martyr.
problem
Yeah.
because then people are like, no, he didn't
They're
die. Then the
excited.
conspiracy theories would start up
Yeah.
and all that.
Well, we even made up the dialysis thing. That was us.
Yeah.
He wasn't sick.
Yeah.
We made it up so we know people were lying.
Right.
When they say, hey, we found bin Laden, I saw him. We saw the dialysis. We're like, he
Isn't
didn't
that
have one.
great? They throw that info out, and then if
counterintelligence.
and if someone comes back and says that, they knew that this guy was full of shit and looking
Yeah,
for a
they did
payday.
so, exactly. It worked.
Hey, by the way, I do want to jump in and say that's why I bow to all military guys because I still can't wrap my head around thinking that way and the
How
training
about-
it takes.
yeah, and with us, where we worked as a Tier 1 SEAL team, we didn't have the most dangerous job. Think about the Marines that are out there walking through minefields,
Right.
And they get hit,
Right.
And they watch their buddies get blown in half, and soldiers and sailors and airmen. Like there's people out there with way more driving route Irish in Baghdad.
Yeah.
Like there's we got to fight at night on our terms. Like we can see and the enemy can't.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I mean, obviously the bin Laden mission, we're accepting death, but it was not like we were. There are guys out there that don't get the credit.
That is so weird. And so you're 90 minutes away. Do you throw on a party tape or something?
Yeah, I
to get
listen.
pumped?
People, that's a common question. What?
I thought it was a good question.
I forgot about that.
Don't you want to tell them about how you picked up your first podcasting kit?
Yeah, I got asked. I got asked what the last song I listened to. It was Red Nation by Lil Wayne and The Game.
Oh, no kidding.
And TMZ asked me that once, and I told them. And then even like someone like The Game tweeted out, "It's like, hey, real heroes and shit, just thanking us. And I was like, that's a kick-ass song about, killing Satan and blood in the air, leave blood on the ground.
Right.
Plus, Lil Wayne's just cool, and so's the game.
Right.
Awesome.
What do you got, Michael?
But Rob, on the plane going there, you were saying the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, I was counting. We were talking earlier about if something could happen, but you worrying about it's not going to affect it, just stop worrying about it. One of my favorite life advice is get over it. Just get over it.
Yeah.
So if we get hit with a missile, me shitting my pants isn't going to help.
Right.
So stop thinking about it. So guys did that, and it was interesting. There were guys asleep on the ride to Osama bin Laden's house. How awesome is that?
That is amazing.
And I was counting, right?
Right.
I was counting just 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 0. I learned that a long time ago in Kosovo. They sent us in as not snipers, more armed observers to make sure no atrocities are happening. So you're up there, and Kosovo's got some pretty serious mountains, vegetation. But to sit there and stare through a spotting scope 4 hours on, 4 hours off, you lose your mind. So you count just to keep your mind working. So that's what I was doing. But like Mike was saying, it was as Hollywood as it sounds, and I have the tattoo to prove it. As soon as somehow, 80 minutes into the flight, when we banked to the south, I was like 5:56, 5:57. Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
That was
I'm
Bush.
like, how in the hell did it was Bush?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck counting, I'm going to say that. And I just kept saying that over and over. And then I sort of stopped. I'm like, holy shit, I'm on this mission.
Oh my God.
And then the door opens, and you're looking at a city. It's a resort town in Pakistan. There's a golf course right over there. Wow. And they don't know we're coming. And I remember kind of smiling, thinking, this is some serious Navy SEAL shit we're about to get into. And that's it.
The counting and reciting that quote, that's very meditative. Do you meditate?
Nah, I would then. I would on...
Because just even counting is sort of a form of meditation, just to kind of clear the head and get your focus back. And then the sleeping thing. Do you know what it takes to get me to sleep a good night? And these guys are snoozing on the way to kill Osama bin Laden. That's a real man.
Yeah.
That's a real man.
Well, like one of the biggest concerns we had too was, where are we going to pee? Because I don't want to have a full bladder. If we get off into a gunfight, I don't want to have 90 minutes of piss in my belly.
Right.
And it was just amazing stuff. So they invented these like doggy bowl diapers that you can unfold and pee in them, and then chuck them.
You pee in your pants.
Or pee in your pants. Yeah, that too.
I was at a Black Crow show way back in the day, and I was not gonna give up my spot.
Not missing my spot.
I was about 10 rows. It was in a small club. We were all packed in, and I knew if I left to go to the bathroom, I was done, and I wasn't gonna get my spot back. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not with a girl tonight. I'm peeing in my pants, and then I'll deal with it later.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a true story, by the way.
That's actually good. Well, and if a gunfight started, I would have just started peeing. But then your buddy's gonna give you shit if you live, because hey, you're so scared he's peeing his pants.
Right. So now you see the compound and you're getting close.
Well, yeah, and then we didn't know the damn helicopter crashed. The other one. What they said was
they don't tell you this.
Well, there's a little bit of chaos involved, and we're not talking a lot. But what they said, they told us, because they were -1, we were -2. As simple as it sounds. What they said was -1. We thought we heard was -1 going around, meaning they just took fire and they're going to do a racetrack. But what they were saying was -1 going down, and that's when they crashed. And so our pilot, we were going to drop snipers and a dog and an interpreter outside, and then we're going to fly my team to the roof of bin Laden's house. The plan was get on the roof, jump down to the third deck, gunfight through the glass. That's him, because the woman that found him told us that's where he would be, and she turned out to be 100% right on everything she told us. Awesome.
And she knew to the minute that he was still going to be there by the time.
Well, she was getting frustrated because the day we met her, she's like 100%. Third floor, this building. Why aren't we going now?
Wow.
Why are we here?
And they knew that he wasn't leaving to do anything.
She thought he was going to leave in a few months.
But I mean, doing daily stuff.
No, he doesn't leave the house.
So he barely left that room.
He would walk around he would leave. There was a stairwell, I guess, that he would take downstairs, and they saw a guy that they named him the Pacer, and that's how she knew it was him, because he's a taller dude wearing different clothes, and he's walking around the same spot, never leaving the house. And anytime anyone was doing any manual labor with the animals or planting anything, he would stop and say hello, but he'd never help. So he's a shake.
What did she get for the intel?
She didn't even get how did she do it, or what did she get afterwards?
What did she get afterwards?
Nothing. She was pissed. She said I saw her later here in New York, and she said I didn't even get a parking spot. It was she was pissed. She's like, one of those things where she's the one that knew it.
Right. Nobody
believed her. And then as soon as we get him, everybody wants an award.
Right.
Was she military?
No, she was one of the 3-letter agencies.
Really?
She got nothing? A bonus? Anything?
I don't think so.
Trip to Cancun.
Something. You think you'd give her something. She was awesome. The depiction of that woman in Zero Dark 30 is really close.
Yeah. Wow.
They did a great job with her.
Very cool.
Yeah, and she's a badass.
So now your helicopter lands.
So but we were going to go to the roof, but the helicopter lifted up and went back down. So it landed us right back where we just landed the other guys. Because that pilot saw the other pilot crash, he's like, well, shit, if he can't hover there, I'm not going to try to hover above the house. I don't want to crash. So he put us down.
And you guys were prepared for all scenarios.
I remember just one of those snapshots in life where my right foot hits the ground, and I said, I guess we're just going to start the war from here. Wow. Pretty cool.
And Rob, we'll bring some humor into it. Tell the one funny thing that one of the Navy SEALs said, guys, we have to be careful.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so when we got into the house, so we tried to blow up we knew there was a double hinge door off to our left facing the compound, so the northeast side of the compound. So we went and put a huge 7-foot charge of C6, which is a monster. And it blew the door open, but there's a brick wall behind it. So the breacher looked back, just kind of going through muscle memory. He said, okay, failed breach, meaning we didn't get in. He goes, this is bad. And I remember saying, no, this is good. That's a fake door. He's in there. No one puts a fake door on their house.
Right.
So we go. Now, we thought the other helicopter, I'm getting to that point, Mike. We thought that the other helicopter was still flying. So we had told them, all right, failed breach, northeast corner. Now we're going to blow the carport, meaning that's the one we've seen open. The cars go in and out. And they said, no, don't blow it. We'll just open it. And then the door opens and the thumb comes out. So we're looking at the thumb, and then another situation in life where it doesn't matter how we got here. I don't need to know how. We're just here. We'll talk about it later. We have a fucking job to do. I didn't know how my guys got in there. And so we finally there was gunfire going off at this point. They killed a brawler in the guest house. One of my guys just shot 2 of the people in the bottom. That's when I got in there. So there's women and children kind of moving around. And there's a long hallway. And you don't want to stand in a hallway ever because bad guys will put a gun in the hallway, just spray. So I actually saw other Navy SEALs grabbing children who were obviously startled and putting them with women, so they don't need to be they can be with as little amount of fear as possible, which Al-Qaeda would not do that to our kids.
No, of course
So we're
not.
watching the good guys.
Right.
And then, so I back into the room, and I remember looking up for explosives because they'll hang them from the ceiling, and that's what's going to take the whole house down on top of you and kill you. I don't see any of that. I'm watching my guys work. They're just working, and I remember being so proud of how cool these guys are. Because I have a front row seat to the best mission in modern history. And I'm watching my guys just be cool as ever. I got nothing to do, so I'm standing there, and that's when one of my guys said, helicopter crashed. He whispered in my ear, helicopter crashed. Now I'm thinking, like I mentioned, those other SEALs that were on the Chinooks, the big ones 45 minutes behind us, I'm thinking they got spotted, and they got shot down, and we just lost 60 guys. And I go, oh my God, what helicopter crashed? And he goes, bro, our helicopter crashed in the front yard. You walked right past it. So it just didn't register because there's so much. And now at this point, though, the timing was impeccable.
Oh my God.
The timing was impeccable because
Right.
at this point, one of our snipers who had the dog and the dog handler, they were running around the entire perimeter to make sure no one escaped through whatever kind of escape tunnel.
Yeah.
And that's when he saw the tail of the helicopter over the famous part where it eventually fell down. And he came over the radio and said, all right, guys, be on alert. They are definitely ready for us. They have a training mock-up of our super secret helicopter in the front yard. And that's where his mind is, because he was on my helicopter.
Yeah.
And then you hear the boss frustrated. He goes, no, you jackass. That's ours. We crashed. And then the sniper comes back with, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than the shit I was just saying. Carry on. It's
Yeah.
like, and I'm in the house like, what the fuck are we talking about? We got to go upstairs and get bin Laden.
Yeah, this
So
turned-
this is the these are the conversations that are being had as we're trying to get upstairs.
This is turning into an SNL skit all of a sudden.
Can I ask one question?
It is.
These guys that have the dogs.
Yeah.
You know, and you get so attached to that animal, and that animal,
the
it
animal's
becomes
the
an
animal
equal.
is part of a pack.
Yeah, so how then do you leave the service and leave the dog behind?
They take the dog with them.
They do.
Yeah, they
Oh
retire
my
the
God.
dogs. This dog, Cairo,
God.
he had been shot with an AK-47 in the chest twice before this mission and lived.
Jeez.
When we got in a really weird gunfight, we'll tell that story later. It's incredible. That's a great punchline story too, other than Cairo obviously being shot.
Yeah.
But when we heard, we have what we would say is an Eagle WIA, wounded in action. We call ourselves Eagles, EWIA. And we were trying to ask for a call sign so we know who it is. We never say a name, and they said, well, it's a canine. So we're like, Cairo, if the dog gets shot, man, the dog dies. It's a little, compared to a human, AK-47, they don't have body armor. And Cairo lived.
Wow.
And then he went on the bin Laden raid.
Wow.
Cairo has 2 silver stars. I have 2 silver stars. This fucking dog's has 2 silver stars.
Is the dog still alive?
No, Cairo did die. Just old.
Yeah.
But he was with us. He was funny too because there's so much bullshit that came out of this mission. One of the missions was we had like this $20,000 titanium teeth that we put in Cairo's mouth. Not the case. Cairo had 1 tooth because he had gum disease. He just was there for his nose. So this is some.
Did they have one of those funerals where everyone's crying?
I don't know what they did with Cairo. He was retired, and his
Some of those police dogs when they die and the funerals and everybody's
it's
crying
tough.
will just bring you to your knees.
The guy that handled him, he retired with him and lived with him, and he said he had to put him down, and he said he was there holding Cairo's hand as he died, which is just. And I hope he writes a book about his story. We're trying to get his the vest that Cairo wore in Bin Laden. On the Bin Laden raid to the memorial,
right
down the street.
All right, so now,
so we're in the house.
Yeah, now we're in the house,
and the guys are working, and I'm just chilling. Now that I know that no one got hurt.
Are you starting to think I don't have anything else to do here?
I'm like, shit. This house isn't.
You're looking around, making sure everyone's cool
and it's almost
safe,
like, and they're all ahead of me.
Yeah,
I'm not in danger. This is secure. I gotta wait for them to breach that door at the end of the hallway. It's barricaded. That's obviously where the stairwell is. I'm not missing that shit. And then they breach it. It opens, and then they start moving up. That's when I leave my thing and go behind them, and I'm like 8 guys back. So there's 7 SEALs or so in front of me. And the woman that found Bin Laden said, I don't know what the house looks like on the inside, but there will be a stairwell. And when you get to that stairwell, you're going to run into Khalid bin Laden, Osama bin Laden's 20-year-old son. He will be armed. And here's how cool this woman was. She said, that's his last line of defense. You take care of him, you can get a shot at the big guy. Now that's just cool. So we got to the stairwell.
Wait, how did she know that?
I don't know.
How did she know that part?
She knew somehow through intercepted phone calls that Khalid lives on the 2nd floor. He's going to hear the commotion downstairs. He'll be waiting on the stairwell with the AK-47 that he has.
Wow.
So she just an analyst. Very, very smart woman. So we started going up the stairs. There he was, and he jumped behind a banister. And he was armed. And I'm watching, and I'm looking upstairs with 6, 7 guys in front of me. And at this point, I've been in urban environments and gunfights. You want to take as many guys as you can away from that situation. Let the first 2 or 3 guys handle it, because if he chucks a grenade, shit just goes downhill. But we're probably going to die anyway, and this is going to be awesome. I got to see how this goes down. I don't have a shot, but I'm going to watch. I got to see. Does he pin the corner quickly, try to get a shot? Does he grab him, try to beat him? Yeah. And it was dark and it was quiet. And here's how good of an operator he was. He just whispered, Khalid, or Fayedet, Khalid, Delta Russia, to come here, or something like come here, in 2 different languages. He knew Khalid spoke, and he said his name twice, and that confused Khalid. So he leaned his head over the banister and said, what?
And that was it.
That's it.
Wow.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So now there's no one in the way.
Now we don't know. We just think they're suicide bombers, maybe.
Okay.
So we get through that. We get to the 2nd floor, and then that's when everyone other than the guy in front peeled off, because you want to clear the areas, open spaces, closed spaces, unknowns, before you go up. So, but I'm the last guy, so I can't leave the point man alone. So I put my hand on his shoulder. So he's going to look forward and up. He's looking up the stairs through a curtain. The curtain's at the end of the stairwell. And I'm waiting for more guys. Once I get more guys, I know that this area is cleared and we can go up. But he started seeing people moving. He assumed they're putting on vests. So the way his mind started working is we can beat him to it if we go now. We got to go now. And he started talking. And you never talk. We don't talk to each other. He's like, we got to go. He knows he's got a guy, but we got to go. And that's when I kind of thought to myself, well, let's get it over with. I gave him a squeeze. I wanted more guys, but we just had us. We just were so thin in this big house. So I squeezed him. He went up the stairs, pushed the curtain, and tackled the turned out to be women, like we were talking about earlier, to absorb the blast for the guy behind him. He and I talked about it later. And he said...
so that guy tackled the women just assuming they were going to
assuming they're going to blow up. If you can change the angle of the blast, because they're shooting BBs.
Yeah.
That maybe the guy behind him will live and get the shot. He's going to die. And that's what he did. I mean, this story will be told. This guy should get a Medal of Honor at some point.
And Rob, the one thing that you said to me that always really resonated with me was when you said you didn't care about your life at that point, but once he said Khalid, and actually killed him, you said, this story needs to be told. He just might have changed history.
He could, yeah, he did. What if Khalid kills everybody? What if he sprays everybody? Kills all 7 guys? We're not getting him, not Bin Laden.
Right.
Pakistanis will get there. So so he did that, and then he did that. Which my friend Britt Slabinski was awarded the Medal of Honor 16 years ago for Robert's Ridge. This guy, he's one of those kick-ass, just poster child Navy SEAL that won't come out. and tell a story, but he should, some way, get the Medal of Honor for that move. Wow. So he did that, and it wasn't me being brave. It's simply because he went that way. My tactics dictate I go this way. I turn that way, and there's Bin Laden standing there, and he's got his hands on his wife's shoulders, and he's sort of pushing her
forward
toward me, and then just the way that my escalation of force went is taller than I thought, skinnier than I thought. That's a shorter gray beard. That's his nose. That's Bin Laden. He's not surrendering. He's a threat. I need to treat him as a suicide bomber, which means if I think you're a suicide bomber, you basically have less than a second to convince me not to kill you. And the way, and people, I got criticism for, well, you shot him in the face. What about recognition? If anyone criticizes that, they've never dealt with a suicide bomber. I have. You shoot him in the face, because I've seen bombers go off, and it is very, very loud and scary and permanent.
You get criticized for this.
Isn't that crazy?
It just amazes me.
Well, even
you should have shot him in the face. Oh, really? What would you do, hero?
Well, even with the Brits Levinsky thing, you should read some of the hate Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
And all they're talking about is hate because he left the mountain. It's like, have you ever been shot at by 19 machine guns at 10 feet at once at night?
But when you were sitting there looking him straight in the eye, was there a second there where you were just like, holy shit?
No. The holy shit moment came after, because when I saw him, like looking back on it, I should have said, "Where you been, Laden?"
Oh God!
Robert will be here all week.
Tried the meatloaf.
I asked you last time, a year ago when we talked, did you see fear in Osama bin Laden's eyes?
So.
You did.
I think so.
As a human being,
Yeah.
human to human, you went, "Wow, that's fear right there."
Yeah, and then they played us the one time. The agency played us the phone call that the brothers made to each other as the guys were coming in to get them, and they were speaking Arabic. Obviously, I have never heard fear. A grown man with a high pitched voice like that, and it's just such a bad, because these are top 5 Al Qaeda guys, so fuck them. But just hearing the screaming, and then you hear my guys' gunshots, and then it's silent. It's so cool.
Wow,
that's out there. Anyway, so those shit moment though. So I shoot him, and his wife is still there, so I have to move her. She's not a threat now. You can tell. So I moved her to the bed because I killed him at the foot of the bed. The pictures are on the internet. You can see where his head went.
I know what that looks is like with the not a threat thing. I was married once.
Yeah, right. So we, so I move her to the bed, and as I'm moving her,
what picture is out there
of where Bin Laden's blood is? You can see his bed and
okay.
his head.
I thought you meant of
and
the
there's
wife.
a picture of Khalid there too. His actual picture is pretty graphic.
Right.
But then I saw his two-year-old son standing there, and I'm a father, and I look at this kid, and I'm like, this poor kid has nothing to do with this, and he shouldn't have seen that. One of those so the emotions are kind of all over the place. Then I set him down next to his mom because I don't want him to be afraid. And then other SEALs are coming in the room, and that's when it starts to sink in. And then a guy came up to me, one of the operators, and he just looked at me. And they kind of depicted this part in the movie Zero Dark 30. They didn't do it right, but he looked at me and he goes, "Are you good?" And I said, "No. What are we supposed to do now?" And he smiled, this huge smile, and he goes, "Now we find the computers. We do this every night for years." And I went, "Yeah, that's what we do. You're right. I'm back. Holy shit!" And he goes, "Yeah, you just killed Osama bin Laden, man. Your life just changed."
No, Osama bin Laden's dead, but you're still got to be thinking that we could still be losing our lives here.
Well, see, that's where the next emotion comes in, because
you're like, "Oh, this is great. We did exactly what we're supposed to do, but there's no guarantee we're gonna be safe."
Now it's like, let's get this done as quickly as we can, and holy shit, we might live. So let's saddle up and start doing this. So I did go downstairs to the second floor where they had 3 offices, started breaking apart computer towers to get hard drives, and we're looking for anything electronic, external hard drives, CDs, whatever we can find. I went back upstairs. The guys up there had been talking. We had an Arabic speaker, had been talking to the girls, and one of them finally said, "That's him. That's Sheikh Osama," is the way she put it.
Yeah.
So they had put him in a body bag. I said, "All right, we're getting out of here." I grabbed part of it. The point man, 2 other guys grabbed him. We took him down. I carried him out with my guys. What's kind of cool too is we brought him outside. The sniper, where we put Bin Laden's body next to the foot of the sniper who initiated the fire to rescue Richard Phillips from Somali Pirates, which is like a small group of guys. And then we're calling for an extract. The explosive ordnance guys are blowing up the helicopter, so we have to call in the other SEALs. They came in. We got on the I actually saw that guy that was live tweeting during this. Remember, he was tweeting out, "Why would the Pakistan military be running operations on a Sunday night?"
Right.
He's over there tweeting. And normally in a combat zone, Iraq or Afghanistan, if we just prosecuted a target and there's a guy outside with his phone on, I'm going to shoot him.
Yeah.
Because he's setting off a bomb.
Yeah, sure.
This guy, I saw him, and I
You actually saw that guy?
I was watching him tweet. And I remember thinking, this is good for me because I'm like, they have no fucking idea we're here.
Right.
No one knows what's going on.
Right.
And then the helicopter lands. We all hop in.
Wait, slow down a little bit because there's a couple things in there. So, how many minutes do you guys get to try to get all the hard drives?
We wanted to be on the deck for 34 minutes. We ended up 47 minutes.
Oh, so you're like, all right, okay.
There was just we wanted to be out of there.
How many minutes after Osama bin Laden was killed?
I don't know the exact time. I think we must have killed him about 15 minutes into the mission.
Because there's got to come a point where you're thinking, man, we got to go, but we didn't go through some of these filing cabinets in this closet.
We're totally thinking that. And if Pakistan was our actual ally, we could have stayed and made a couple days out of it.
Yeah,
because I know they found a treasure trove of stuff there. But we're just going for the most important shit. What's on the top of the pile?
Yeah,
I found a ton of opium.
Really?
I found raw opium that was vacuum sealed. I thought they were steaks at first, thinking they're in this for the long haul. They got steaks, and it's like, wait a minute. This is opium they're shipping. They're funding Al Qaeda.
Put one in your back pocket, Robert.
Yeah. I can ditch this map and have a little.
And then the other thing, he hates America so much, but supposedly that you found a lot of porn and like Disney movies. And
there's a bunch of weird stuff. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got to entertain himself. He's in that house all day long.
But I mean, then find stuff from your country if you hate our country so much, right?
Stop watching our stuff.
So now you're out of the house. You guys got to go, and then now you're back on the helicopters, right?
Yeah. So we get on the helicopters. The first team that crashed took our initial helicopter out, and they have the body. We got on the 47 that came in with the new SEAL team, and we have some DNA. So we flew two different directions, basically, going the same place.
Yeah.
Just redundancy. If one gets shot down, we still have DNA to prove it. So, and again, I'm starting to deal with a lot of stuff that just happened, so I'm laying on top of the sniper from the Somali pirate thing. And he had been taking a lot of shit because when you get to such a high-profile mission like Captain Phillips or Osama bin Laden, guys that are there at that team have been the best player on every team they've ever been on, and they get a little jealous. So they were giving him a lot of shit for the Captain Phillips thing, and I would always go up to him. This is before, and I would give him my Copenhagen and say, "Don't listen to that negativity. Take a dip. You're a hero. I know you don't like hearing that, but you're a hero." And I would do that all the time to him just to try to get his head out. So now we're off on the bin Laden raid. I'm laying on top of him. The guy next to me is from Manhattan, and he's from another squadron at this elite SEAL team. And he asked the question every SEAL asked when he found out bin Laden was dead. He goes, "Who got him?" And I said, "I did." And he said, "On behalf of my family, thank you." This is another Navy SEAL.
Wow.
Then this sniper pulls out his Copenhagen and says, "Now take one of mine. You know what it's like to be a fucking hero."
Wow.
Now it's all this shit. So we're like, well, okay, we get 90 minutes to go that way. If we go 90 minutes, we cross the border. We're in Afghanistan, and we live.
So you still have 90 minutes.
90 minutes
to count down.
If we get 90 minutes, we get 50 years of life.
Right.
So we start to watch this.
Oh, you did?
We start, and we're just looking at it, and no one's talking, and we're flying.
But don't you think after 45 minutes you're thinking, okay, we're good?
No.
The whole 90 you had to deal with.
Missile that's designed to shoot down a jet is going to shoot down this, because we're in the big helicopter.
Right.
But we're counting it. It's like we're getting 40 minutes. Like you said, 45, 50 minutes. And then it's kind of funny because you are thinking that. Then you start thinking, this is like being at Yankee Stadium, top of the sixth. There's a no-hitter being pitched. I'm not saying anything, but
you don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it, but it's been 50.
What kind of watch were you wearing at the time?
I was wearing a digital watch, not the Breitling. I forget which kind, probably a Sunto. But then we're 60, 70, then we're 80 minutes. And I love the sports analogy because now it's like Lake Placid. The Americans are beating the Russians. You can hear them counting down 10, 9, 8. They still can screw it up. And then all of a sudden the pilot came over the radio at 85 minutes and said, "All right, gentlemen, for the first time in your lives, you're going to be happy to hear this. Welcome to Afghanistan." It's like, holy shit, we pulled it off.
Did you cry at that point? Or any type of emotion?
We started high-fiving. We knew we had about 10 minutes.
But how did you relieve all that built-up anxiety and stress?
When we got back, we landed, and everyone's just...
You don't want to admit you cried on my podcast? Is that?
I'll be the first to admit I am a movie crier. I cry at weddings. I like crying. Crying is cleansing, but I didn't... This was just... I was like, I know there's whiskey in Afghanistan somewhere. Find it.
I got hiccups because of you today. What movie do you cry at? Do you know? Offhand?
Yeah, let me think. I don't cry at The Exorcist. I cry at... Get them to the Greek out of laughter, and then An Officer and a Gentleman, just because it's fucking awesome.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, and that's love shit. I mean, that's fruity drink love shit.
Right. That's a great movie, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right, and then you made it.
Yeah, so
and then your life completely changed at that moment.
Well, we got back, and here again is one of my favorite stories. We get back, and we land. The point man who led me up the stairs and gave his life. Now he's there, and he and I shared pretty emotional words with each other, just kind of recap what the fuck just happened. And then he said he looked over and he saw the girl from the agency and he goes, oh, there she is. And his exact words were, well, you got to give her something because you own this now.
Right.
So we walked over and I pulled the magazine out of my gun the last round and I said, do you have room for this in your backpack? She goes, yeah, of course I do. Then I said, we have something to show you. Now, the movie Zero Dark 30 ended horribly because they show the woman who found bin Laden, his body, and she cried, got emotional, and left. Got in a helicopter, the movie ends horribly. What actually happened is the point man and I walked her over to bin Laden's body, and this is a woman who spent her life, gave up her life to find him. No husband and no kids, 20-hour days, find bin Laden, year, and now we got him. So we're walking over, and it starts to sink into me like, this is historic. This is Normandy. This is Iwo Jima, Washington crossing the Delaware to fight the Hessians, Revolutionary War, historic. So we walked her over, and I'm like, oh, my God, this is the pressure. I got to say something cool. So we go over, and all I said was, I looked down, and I pointed at bin Laden. I said, is that your guy? She looked down for a second and a half and said, well, I guess I'm out of a fucking job, and left. No emotion whatsoever.
No Hollywood.
Fuck him, I'm out.
One giant leap for mankind.
Isn't that awesome?
No Hollywood ending there.
I set her up for the ultimate, and that's the coolest thing she
Oh,
said.
just great. I got to get my resume together.
Yes, right? So, by the
That's
way, what's your
amazing.
number? Yeah. But she was cool, so then life changes. And we get back, and there's a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of pressure that comes to something like that. Because we would do stuff when we went to meet President Obama. He wants to give us the awards he's giving us, and we're sitting in this, secure place with the entire team that was there, and some guy comes up from the Army and stands in front of me and salutes me. What is that? I shot him, but these guys got me there. Come on, man. So that's when the weird shit starts happening.
Right.
Like, shit, this guy's a gold digger or whatever.
Right. Yeah, because
it's a tough one.
Everybody was important. But
Everyone. The point man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But that's how human nature
pilot,
works.
yeah.
They start pointing at the guy that actually did it, that actually pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But
No, they did, and I
you
didn't
couldn't pull that trigger without the rest of those
No,
guys.
I
obviously.
wouldn't have gotten there without them.
Michael.
I always love asking when Obama saw you guys. He asked you guys, "Hey, who shot?"
Yeah, he said
that's
who-
always the coolest thing. Obama asked who shot.
He said
him.
who shot him, and we said we all shot him. And then he left, and one of my guys goes, I wish I would have told him that you shot him. But no, and another funny story, too.
You should have said we all shot him as you're winking at Obama.
That's why I said, "Who shot him?" Well, we all did well. I kind of pulled the trigger.
Now, there is controversy, obviously, because being in your position, and I know a few guys, I'll just say that. Sure. And when you guys go on these missions, it's protocol really to never talk about what went down and talking about being the guy. But I mean, it took you a while to come out. How long?
It took a while, but it.
Do you know how long?
Well, it didn't, because when I got back, when the second we landed, we had 30 guys waiting for us at the airfield, like high-fiving on the plane when we landed. Guys all knew what went down, and then
no, I don't mean in your.
No.
Okay,
it kind of got out. So it got out in Virginia Beach, San Diego, D.C., and New York, and people sort of knew. And then it's sort of more it was a difficult time, but I didn't tell the story till years after I'd left the Navy, and I went on another combat deployment after this one. I went back to Afghanistan. That gun, bin Laden was not the last guy that got killed by that gun.
Really?
Yeah, I went back. One of the best stories was from the next 10 months later.
What was that story?
I'll tell you. Yeah. Okay. Well, we were.
Don't worry. I'm good at this.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'll get it all together.
But
I want to hear about this because I didn't know. I've known you for a while now. I thought that was it for you. But why did you decide to keep going back?
Because of the leak. I wanted to prove them that I'm not here for fame, and I am going to get out in a year. I extended, but what I said is I came in through the front door. I'm leaving through the front door. It's like I'm not backstabbing. I'm not doing this bullshit. So I went back overseas.
But you were tempting fate.
Yeah, I know.
You made it through Osama bin Laden, which if you remember earlier in the podcast, 90% chance that you guys weren't going to make it. So you tempted fate there, and then you decide I'm going to go back one more.
Yeah, one more in the winter too. Like we took down a castle. I remember going up the stairs with a dog, and he cleared a corner for me and saved my life. But the one story that I set up my first L ambush, which is the most basic offensive way to hit someone else. You got a base and a maneuver. It's the shape of an L. One side shoots, one side moves, and you get them in what they call the fatal funnel.
Yeah.
And we did that. We sold it to there was a group of terrorists that were leaving the same house every single day, driving across a road no one drove down, and trying to ambush Americans. And we saw them do it like on Monday, then Tuesday, and whatever. And we said, well, if they're going to do it Friday, that's the day of prayer, they're definitely doing Saturday. So we are going to go Saturday. They did it Friday. Like, okay, we're launching here. We're going to walk in the dark. There's a pattern of rocks here. We are going to sit. We're going to sit there and wait for the sun to come up. The eyes in the sky are going to watch them. They're going to come around. And here's how simple we sold it. Once they get to this point, because you were going to tell us, green light, yellow light, red light. Red light's when we come out. We have snipers up here. We get an L. And I remember it was so simple, and a lot of people want to be complex. They said, well, what are you going to do? We said, well, we're going to tell them to stop. And he goes, well, what if they don't stop? I'm like, I'm going to shoot them. It's not that hard. When you want to stop a vehicle, you don't shoot the engine block. You shoot the fucking driver.
Yeah.
The vehicle stops.
Right.
So we set it up. And so just because Murphy always shows up, they couldn't get their car started. So they're watching them try to start their car. They're like push starting it. We light up cigars. So like, fuck it, we'll smoke some cigars and wait for them. We're waiting to kill these guys. So we're smoking cigars. And they finally get the car started in like 45 minutes. Then they drive to us. We're waiting there. They get to a certain spot. They tell us where they are. And then we pop out. And the driver, I don't think he spoke English, but I'm pretty sure his last words were fuck, 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 as he puts it in reverse and starts peeling tires.
Right.
And I'm like, and I can see weapons in the car. And I start going, get out of the car. Get out of the car. And then I start to get concerned for his health because I'm like, bro, you need to get the fuck out of the... And boom, his head explodes. One of the snipers decided to take a shot because of the RPG he saw. And then it just turns into a shit show. So we killed 5 or 6 of them. And
that was it for you?
That was the last mission for me.
That was the last mission.
You say that's important because you were so complacent on that mission. You said, like, dude, I'm not really even taking this serious. Like,
no, there's no adrenaline.
Yeah, so...
That's great. And that's why I needed to get out of the Navy.
Right.
That and we lost, like, the bin Laden raid was in May of 2011. And then in August 6, 2011, we lost Extortion 17 was shot down, 31 Americans, and that's just one of and a lot of my good friends on that. It's like, I do want to see my kids get married. I gotta bounce. So I did that last deployment, and then I got into the oh shit phase of about 6 months of terminal leave where I need to get a job. What am I going to do?
See, we talked about this in the past. I mean, if you're the guy that killed Osama bin Laden, they should just hand you a job. You decide what job you want, and whoever's in that seat, they kick out and say, "This is now Robert O'Neill's
job." We should have divvied up the $50 million reward.
But no kidding. But it's just so
some for you, some for the stripper.
It's so weird to me. I talk to a lot of military guys, and they're like these heroes, and they do these incredible missions. Then they come back to, the States, and then they're regular guys driving a freaking minivan, getting their kids to school, trying to figure out how they're going to pay their bills.
That's why I started my foundation, Your Grateful Nation.
Right.
Which we transitioned special operators to the private sector because, I mean, the business owners don't realize the caliber of people they're going to get, and the operators don't realize what they offer. Like, guys would rather go to war than fill out a resume because war makes sense. Mm-hmm. But when I explain to them, you have teamwork, team building, you are a problem solver, stress management, and you're loyal.
Yeah.
They'll hire you based on that. And so we make this introduction. It started off, Your Grateful Nation started off as, let's help the vets get jobs. Now it's like, hey, let's make your company get better.
So when did you decide, all right, I got to make this public because everyone else kind of knows around me that I'm the guy? I remember doing radio, and we all want to know who the fuck was the actual guy that did this. And then it's weird to me that fast forward a few years, I get to hang out with you a little bit. It's so strange. But what was the moment where you go, you know what, I got to tell my story?
9/11, a memorial. When I donated, one of my first jobs was to work at Potomac Partners in Washington, D.C., doing a little bit of lobbying type stuff. And I met some members. And they got me access to the museum. And we decided it would be kind of cool to donate the shirt that I wore in bin Laden's bedroom to the memorial. And it was going to be anonymous. I don't want Rob O'Neill, blah, blah, blah. It's
what kind of shirt was it?
Was
it like a Def Leppard shirt? Or?
I wish it was. How cool would that have been?
That would be awesome.
Yes. No, it was a desert camouflage shirt.
Yeah.
I forgot the maker, but it's a camouflage thing that we wore, and I have the American flag on it, still the one that was in there. And so we donated that anonymously, but as typical politicians, they set up something with family members in there so I could speak. And it was just, that's just what they would do. They didn't tell me. But now there's 30 people that lost loved ones in 9/11, the most horrific day. You don't get over that shit. So they put me on stage. They're like, well, tell them what happened. And that's the first time in public I'd told the story. And I did, it's weird the timing. I'm good friends with Peter Ducey from Fox News. I did have them bring a camera in because I was saying, look, we should record this, archive it for history's sake when the shirt gets donated. But now they're filming me talking to these families, and there were tears and heads in their hands. And I had a guy, there was a fire chief that was with his grandson whose son died. And he came up to me and said, very emotionally, we actually caught it on tape, where he said, every day my grandson has asked me, why did God do this? And I've been telling him, God didn't do this, the devil did this. And you, sir, killed the devil. Wow. And so we hear this, and just watching the reaction, getting the hugs, and I was like, well, if I can help with the healing with these 30 people, I can help 100,000 people. So I'm telling the story.
And the military community in general is okay that you came out in front of me?
Not at first, because I did an unpaid documentary on Fox, and I talk a lot. I do what I can with the museum. I work with them quite a bit. We're working on exhibits there now.
Yeah.
But then I was going through that, and I said, I've got a story here of a guy that couldn't swim that became a SEAL that ended up here. Mm-hmm. And anyone can do it if you stay positive and work hard. So
I think you had no choice.
It's
Osama bin Laden.
That's a lot to keep. Yeah.
It's Osama bin Laden. I think in the end you had no choice because the public wanted to know, obviously, and then you guys got different rules in the military community, and I think most of them have come around since. No,
they have. Well, and because I put the whole story together and I submitted it to the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, and I was like, hey, I will write a book out of this. I just need your stamp of approval, and they went through it and they gave it back, and the only thing they redacted was the number of the SEAL team that I was on, which is pretty easy to figure out. But they kept everything else, because I was at SEAL Team 2, I was at SEAL Team 4, then at SEAL Team blank.
Right. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
And they left everything in. The Pentagon was so good to me.
Right.
Because it's a legit story. It's going to help with recruiting. It's an American story. It's historical, and that's so I got it approved, and I got it.
Where were you on 9/11? I realized
I was in Germany. I was at SEAL Team 2, and we have a unit over there, and I was in the ops center, and I was doing email. And we had the news on, a couple TVs, and then went to breaking news with the North Tower been hit by a plane. And I remember they were at first speculating, well, it was a small plane or a Cessna. We're looking at it like, that's a big hole, man. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's whatever. And then the second plane hits, I was in 903, and I remember hearing one of my guys immediately saying, Osama bin Laden, this is Al-Qaeda, we're under attack. And we got to, because we're forward deployed. We just finished Kosovo. And we're like, okay, now do we go back to Virginia Beach? Do we just rejock here and we'll go wherever you need us?
Right. And you're sitting there in Germany, and then fast forward, no clue you're going to be the guy. That's.
We were doing missions in Afghanistan and Iraq where I was a battlefield interrogator, which means they actually softened that down to tactical questioner. But you get the best intel, and Mike, this shit. When you get into a house or whatever, as soon as you get them, you can interrogate them now. They don't have their story ready, and I would fuck with these guys. Like, I'm interrogating him, and okay, where's the imam of the mosque? What does he do? Whatever. Where's Osama bin Laden? And we would both laugh. The guy I'm interrogating and me. No one's just because I'm bored.
Yeah.
We both laugh with each other. That's a good joke because no one's ever going to find him.
Right.
And then I would think, well, Delta's going to get him. They're going to send the army. Some Marines are going to run into him. No.
They thought that he was in all those caves, right?
Yeah,
for a while.
Someone's going to get him with an airstrike. Or
were you surprised where he actually was in the end?
Well, I was,
because we all thought us just lame dudes,
civilians.
We just assumed that he was deep in a mountain somewhere.
I was at first, but the more I thought about it, the Pakistani intelligence services were hiding him, and they had every in their interest to do it. Yeah. Because if they keep bin Laden safe, then Al-Qaeda doesn't hit them as hard as it can be. I'm not saying the Pakistani government knew, but the ISI, the intel, definitely. I think they hit him. Right. We're 100% sure.
And did your life take some hits because of the Osama bin Laden thing? Because I know you got divorced.
Well, that had nothing to do with it.
Oh, it didn't?
We were getting divorced anyway.
Before you?
Yeah. We were
before you.
Yeah, we're
Opie's shocked right now.
We were.
Now I understand why you weren't afraid to die.
It all makes sense. It all came together.
Okay, all right.
48 minutes. It all makes sense.
It all makes sense now. You already knew you were getting a divorce as you're going to kill Osama bin Laden.
We were separated when I went on the mission.
No kidding.
Yeah, we were doing it amicably. We wanted the kids to be good,
right?
Them to be okay and realize that it's not their fault. Just shit happens, and it's a tough life. I mean, truth be told, she's a lesbian.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, you found out
we had that conversation
before. Before?
Yeah.
Did she give you a little?
I'm happily married now, and
No, I know you
I'm
are.
assuming
I
my
know
wife
you
will
are.
hear this.
I know you are. I'm very happy for you too, because I follow you on Twitter. It's very obvious you love
Twitter
it.
is funny, but people take Twitter way too seriously. You drop an F-bomb. I got in trouble. I got yelled at by some of my employers because someone asked me one time, what was the hardest hand-to-hand combat you've ever been involved with? And I said, well, that's easy. That's when I had to smack Matt Lauer's hand off Keith Olbermann's ass. they didn't like that shit.
And then they went nuts.
It's like, I'm kidding. That didn't really happen. They called HR.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Bringing that all around. Thanks for that.
I know how to do this too.
But of course you do. If someone like you gets shit on Twitter, then there's no hope for any of us. Like, people give you shit on Twitter.
They do.
That's insane to me.
What
do they go after with you?
Well, it's usually something Trump. It's something political or whatever. And I just try to be honest with people. I try to and then jokes every now and then. But yeah, they'll hit me on all kinds of nasty shit. They
Has Osama bin Laden's family reached out to you on Twitter?
I got hit up once by Hamza bin Laden, who's the son, and he was saying something about revenge. I'm like, yeah, your brother Khalid tried that shit too.
Oh my God, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're
and they
nuts.
blocked his account. Fuck him.
Well,
But we get other guys too. Like there are dudes out there, like former special forces guys, Tim Kennedy, like UFC fighter, Green Beret, bad motherfuckers that have openly said, "I live here. Come get some."
Do you carry? Do you have a carry
Yes.
permit? Do you carry in New York?
Well, I can't say.
Okay.
Well, really, Tim?
Of course he
No, we
carries.
did some of the,
I'll answer the question for
some
him.
of the, some of the security stuff we don't really get into.
But of course he
dogs
does.
and cameras help a lot too.
Yeah.
But honestly, like the law enforcement guys, both local law enforcement and federal, have been really good to me.
Right.
And we put a guy in prison that was going after some of my family members.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but whatever.
You think in the end, killing Osama bin Laden has a positive effect
Yes.
as far as the whole world goes?
Just because of the
You know where I'm going with this
yeah.
because there's a lot of arguments. You go and you kill a lot of terrorists, and then you're making a whole bunch of other terrorists, their friends and family members. So
that's true. I don't blame us with the wars. I mean, there's stuff that has happened. Our own media spins it into shit that like, okay, putting people in a human pyramid is bad. The whole Abu Ghraib thing. But the New York Times blasting it out, that makes terrorists. Just because because they hate George Bush. They wouldn't have done that under Obama. But I blame the madrasas. The madrasas on the Pakistan border. Some of the madrasas in Saudi Arabia that are Hamas. If people aren't born racist.
Right.
People aren't born hateful.
Right.
They're taught.
right.
And a lot of this stupid. And I mean, what's awesome, what's very encouraging for me, because I travel a lot of Muslims are coming around. And they're like, we're kind of tired of this shit because you're branding. And it's a small percentage of the Wahhabists, of the true believers that are doing this nonsense. Muslims are getting tired of this shit.
In the end,
the education is going to win. The bombs and the bullets aren't. The education will win.
In the end, it's up to them to
Yeah.
change their culture.
I mean,
we could try all we.
Did you see the video of that migrant in France that climbed 4 stories
Yes.
in 10 seconds to save a baby?
Yes.
See, he needs the press.
Right.
That's the guys you want in the country right
Yeah,
there.
of course. And then I got to ask is, so you're promoting your book, right? It's
Yes,
now
The
out-
Operator.
It's now out in
Paperback.
Paperback.
Yeah, it came out last
Did you
month.
add anything to the book?
No, not yet. But we have it out in like 7 languages now, too.
Wow.
We have it in English, the Queen's English, German, French.
Fuck the Queen.
We got
That's stupid. What was she wearing during that royal
Spanish.
wedding?
We just got it in Czech.
She dressed
and
like a minion.
Polish. How pissed was she?
She's got to lighten up, man.
I
She's
know.
got to stick
You know she's a
really
drink- you know
far up
she's a-
her ass.
She's a drinker.
Is she really?
Big time.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, I love her.
You love the
I
Queen?
love the Queen.
Why do you love the Queen?
Because it's a horrible thing. Like, we still have a queen?
It's a joke, isn't it? Do you watch The Crown?
No, I didn't. I'm kind of over that shit. I mean,
The Crown is damn good.
Is it? Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. No, I'm watching.
It's fascinating
You know what
because-
I'm watching and rewatching is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's one of the greatest
Oh my God,
shows
who
ever made.
comes up with that shit?
It's
Does Charlie
amazing.
write all that stuff?
I don't know. I don't.
Some of the stuff.
I would assume so.
Day Man and the Night Man.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
Yes,
you
Tim.
ever plan to run for office? or
Absolutely
anything?
never. No fucking way.
I got to ask you one other question. So, how did you become a Navy SEAL? I believe it was over a girl.
Yeah,
right?
I got dumped by Hillary Pisani in Butte, Montana.
Wait, you give her
Name
last
drop.
name?
Boom.
2 shots at Jack Dempsey's and he's dropping government names. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I've said her name before. Actually, what's funny about
Have you run into her since?
Oh yeah, what's funny is just what a small world it is.
Yeah.
I left the Navy and I moved to Dallas. And she and I ended up living less than a mile apart in Dallas, Texas. from
No
Butte,
kidding.
Montana. Yeah, we had cocktails one day. It was funny. Just BSing about. She's married, got a kid.
Right.
And no, it was fine. I mean, whatever. I mean, I even told her she was at a speech I was giving, And I basically called her out as you are basically the reason Bin Laden's dead.
No.
So that's not a bad thing. But she was the reason I left town, yeah.
But wait, so she dumps you, and then how do you get into the Navy SEALs?
How
does that story go?
Because I went to join the Marine Corps. I went to be a sniper. And as luck would have it, the Marine wasn't there, and the Navy guy was. And the only reason I went to see the Navy guy at his desk was because two of my Marine buddies told me a joke. They said the Marine Corps is actually part of the Department of the Navy.
Right.
It's just a men's department. So I went in to ask this recruiter, when's he coming back from lunch? And he said, well, why do you want the Marine? I said, well, I want to be a sniper. And he goes, oh, you're good. We have snipers in the Navy. And he tricked me. He said, you have to become a Navy SEAL first. No big deal. Then we'll send you to sniper. Like, just broad brush stroke the shit out of that one. Yeah.
You did it all wrong. When someone dumps you, you go and fuck her friends.
Yeah.
You don't join the military.
Yeah, but most of her friends were big dudes.
That is weird. A girl dumps you, and then you jump into the
No,
military.
it's weird. A lot of men and women are in the military because of that exact reason.
Yeah.
They had a bad relationship, and they just, fuck it, I'm leaving. Getting out of town. And they did, and it's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't realize at 19 years old that, oh, don't worry, life is going to fuck you plenty more than this, pal.
Right.
But, yeah, so that's it. And
did you have any issues after leaving the Navy SEALs?
No. You lose track of some of your friends because it's a freight train going 100 miles an hour, and once you jump off, it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
I've had friends that were killed, a guy in Somalia, a guy in Yemen, because you can tell the war's spreading, a guy in Iraq, northern Iraq, friends that fought ISIS, no shit, like would tell me about fighting. Like, I'd go to their houses and have beer. I've been out for 3-4 years, and they're telling me about how they're fighting like armored vehicles that ISIS is driving and suicide bombers and shit. No, but I mean, the moving around, the security thing. But I've had a great relationship with Fox News. I'm a contributor there. Starting the foundation, and when like the happiest day of my week is when I get a letter saying that we wouldn't have gotten this. My family wouldn't have the second career without your Grateful Nation. Guys that initially, like, time heals, and even guys that were hateful would say, well, shit, O'Neill's like the only guy out there doing this to get us jobs. Yeah. And trying to plant people. So, there are ups and downs. You're going to have negativity everywhere. And it just,
it just amazes me you get any shit. It just amazes me.
I'm used to it now. Like, people always say, like, on Twitter, don't read the comments. I love the comments because
Do you really?
Hateful people are very creative.
Twitter has shown us that there's a lot of miserable people in this world.
That's what it is.
And a lot of mentally ill people.
Oh, yeah. But they're the ones who are miserable. And
Yeah,
I'll
no
respond to them sometimes. It's fun. And the guys that don't delete the tweet immediately, it's like, well, at least he's got balls.
That's their pain.
Yeah, no, it is.
No, it's their pain and their fear, and they can't deal with it, so they have to push it out to other people.
Exactly
It's so obvious. It's like Psych 101, that crap. One last story, because I remember from last year, but I can't remember the exact details of the story, but there was you found yourself in a situation with your kids and something about
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, please help me out with
that.
that.
The 1 year anniversary of Bin Laden's
Yes.
thing, and I'm still, how do I adjust to this? So it's 1 year, May 1st. We're at Great Wolf Lodge in Williamsburg, Virginia, getting ready to go. It's an indoor water park, and we have the news on, and my kids know they're not allowed to mention Bin Laden because it's not safe for them. Don't even remember it. And so we're watching the news, and they said, all right, viewer email. It's the anniversary of Bin Laden's death. So anyone whomever tells us the best story of where you were when you found out Bin Laden was dead, we will put it on TV. And my daughter starts freaking out. She goes, oh, my God, Dad, you've got to email them and tell them you were in his bedroom.
You weren't ready yet. You're like, oh, not yet. Is that amazing?
Whatever. Yeah, that's it. I said, no, we're not doing that. We're going to go swim, and they have beer down there.
How did your kids stay quiet until you were ready to talk?
They have a tough time with it because now I don't want to get in their ages, but they're at the age where, holy crap, I could get a reality show type. And it's like, now just keep your gun on your hip and your dog in front of you. And
right. All these kids, they want YouTube channels.
Oh,
Dad,
yeah.
I got an idea for a YouTube channel.
Well, I had one of my kids say that she had a little boy come up to her in school and say, yeah, I met the guy that killed Bin Laden, and he's awesome. And she's like, just biting her tongue. And they don't know not to say anything.
You probably hold back allowance or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I just threaten them with hey, they'll come to your house.
Yeah.
You don't want them.
And Rob, I'll do something cool with you.
Yeah.
My buddy Matt Bradford, he's a Marine down in Kentucky.
Yes.
Got blown up, IED, lost his legs and his eyes. He still runs marathons, plays baseball.
Really?
We're going to call him in a minute. And I just texted him. I know it's funny, but he wrote right back, and he said, hey, show Rob this. He has the message. You can read it, Rob. He has the message when he was on the plane.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, man.
It's just confirmed bin Laden killed by U.S. forces in Pakistan.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He saved that in his house.
I thought you were going to show me a message. You know the famous thing Marines do to each other?
No. Tell me.
They have a thing they write everywhere. Now, if you start looking for it, you'll see it.
Okay.
It says Wagner hearts, like loves. Wagner hearts the cock.
No.
So, this is a funny story. So, apparently, someone had a buddy named Wagner, and he wrote it about him in a urinal. And it just went viral. Yeah, and I'm talking Sharpie mark. Like you go to an airport where Marines have been, it will be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Wagner hearts the cock. Wagner hearts the cock. So I went to visit a Marine that got blown up, the legs blown off. Walter Reed. I go down there once in a while just to those guys are amazing. And he's laying in there. His wife is with him. His legs are, and he's still heavily medicated because it happened like a week ago. And there's a Marine Corps flag hanging there, and all of his buddies signed it. And one guy signed Wagner hearts the cock. So I asked him, I said, Marines are awesome. So I said, hey, Corporal, is your buddy Wagner? Is that who that is? And he goes, no, that's just kind of how it worked out. And he goes, yeah, it's kind of weird. General Mattis was in here last week visiting me, and he said, what's up with Wagner hearts the cock? And he goes, well, sir, as Marines, we write that in all the heads that we use, all the bathrooms. And Mattis goes, I've never seen it in a head that I visit. And he goes, yeah, sir, I don't think you and I use the same shitter.
That's a good place to stop right there. Robert O'Neill, a pleasure. Thanks for doing the
man.
podcast. I really appreciate
awesome.
it. And I like that you didn't forget about me, brother.
Oh,
Tell me what just happened. So you're on Fox News and you're like, hey, America doesn't want to talk impeachment. We want to talk about being like together.
working together, yeah.
And some guy's like, bro, where were you? And he goes, hey, babe, where were you during the Obama administration?
And
what
I
was your response?
retweeted him. I said, I was in bin Laden's bedroom. Where were you, bro?
Yeah. End of Twitter war. That you bring up a good point. I mean, we didn't talk politics this time, but we certainly can next time.
Yeah, we can.
But I want to one thing. What is it going to take to get the two sides together? It is unbelievable how separated we are.
They're separated, but I think the problem is the negativity is the loudest, and it's on both ends. Because I travel around the country all the time speaking, and I talk to America, to thousands of people a week personally, and people are just tired of it.
Yeah,
they're tired of the far right. They're tired of the far left. Come on. The jobs.
I hate both sides equally.
Yeah, as do I.
You do?
Oh yeah, I love America. I love the country.
Right. I think the answer is both sides got to listen to each other.
Yes.
And we stopped doing that. Way before us. I mean, this has been going on for 30, 40 years at this point.
There's ridiculous arguments out there too. Like okay, so a guy wants to be a girl. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Gay marriage is great.
Right.
Gay dudes are fucking awesome.
Right. What? I said right to that? I'm just saying right.
But I mean, but it's like on the media.
I wasn't listening. I just said right. No. But the transgender in the military, there was something I was going to ask you about. Yeah. You're all right with that? Because I was talking to.
That's a tough one because I don't know the motive. If people are doing it just for the military to pay for it, I think that's wrong. But my friend Kristen Beck, Navy SEAL 20 years, one of the kick-ass warriors I've ever seen, decides he's now a she.
Right. And
he fought for 20 years. She should be she. I'm fine with that.
No, I was talking to someone I can't really mention, but they were talking about this very issue, and they're like, the problem is you sign up to fight and serve, and then if you want the operation, you're taking yourself out.
Yeah, basically.
For over a year, maybe 2 years, and our government is paying for that.
Yeah, see, I have an issue with that.
Okay, that part of it. Yeah, I understand.
But I mean, I think there's a transgender pilot now too. I don't know. But I don't understand that. I mean, I've never been transgender. I don't know what it's like. That's got to be a struggle. So.
You know where I'm at with that? I mean, no hate, but I'm still trying to understand it.
Yeah, I'm trying to process it.
Okay, thank you. And I think it's okay to say that. Because even if you say that, people want to attack you. I'm like, whoa, yo, chill out, man.
I don't get it.
I don't get it, but I don't want to hate on it.
No.
But I need a little more time to kind of process and digest the whole thing. Mm-hmm.
So we finished on transgender. that took an interesting twist.
No, it's the politics. So I'm sure even in your family with the Facebook and everything else, like families are being broken apart because of their political ideology. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's easy to type something when no one's debating you and type the most vicious shit and it doesn't seem. It's like you need to get a lot of emotion out of the argument to try to be realistic with it, I think.
But I was leading towards, so what is it going to take just to get us all on the same page to at least try to figure some of this stuff out?
Hopefully not another attack.
No kidding. Because remember how everyone got along for, how long was it? A couple months?
It wasn't, 9/11, a lot of people got along. The week after the bin Laden raid, everyone was getting along.
Yep.
Obama was awesome. Like,
I think it's going to take aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
Aliens.
Oh, they're here. They're here.
Oh, you believe in that?
Yeah.
Really?
Did you see the aircraft carrier getting stocked? They just released the documents. The aircraft carrier getting stocked on an exercise by a hypersonic thing, and they launched jets after it. And they saw it. They confirmed it. The guys are out now, and they just made it declassified. Not making big news, but yeah, of course.
There's plenty of pilots that have seen stuff.
I've been convinced that there's been aliens and alien technology here ever since Velcro. There's no way we invented that.
See, I can end on Velcro. I can end on Velcro.
Thanks,
Robert O'Neill, what a pleasure. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
brother.
buddy. And I bow to you, and I bow to all the military guys.